It can be devastating when a loved one dies, and even more devastating when you find out that they didn't leave a will. Now, you don't necessarily have to rush to court and litigate against all family members. If you were close to that deceased person, meaning that you were their spouse, their daughter, their son, their sister or brother, anything that indicates, you're pretty close to them, you can quietly get letters of administration from the court. In order to do so, you'd go to a lawyer and get them to draft these letters of administration, which would also indicate certain things such as where the last place was that the deceased lived, where they died, and a copy of their death certificate, as well as, proof of your identity and an inventory of their estates, meaning their movable properties, their immovable properties, jewelry, bank accounts, everything should be included in that inventory, as well as a copy of the burial permit. It's also good to let your lawyer know the value or the assumed value of the deceased estate, as well as the number of children they had, the date they died, their hometown, just this general information so that that lawyer can feed into the letters of administration. And so once the letters of administration are granted, this can even happen up to within a month and a half if it's unopposed, then there is publication so that, it's posted that letters of administration have been granted to you as the administrator, and thereafter, if it's unopposed still, a small amount is paid into the court in terms of a small amount of the value of the estate, and then you can go off and administer the estate. So although it can be devastating when a loved one dies all of a sudden, and even more devastating when they don't make a will and they either died abroad but they have their assets in Ghana, or they're in Ghana and have their assets here, you can still have a very simple procedure to administer that estate depending on how close you were to the deceased. And if you've had to sort of seal letters of administration abroad, the lawyer also has to, follow a certain procedure within Ghana in terms of just, obtaining letters of administration on your behalf. So it's quite straightforward when it's uncontested and when there's no litigation involved.